he calls me and he says, hey, I got this idea. And he goes, it's called the Yak 110. And I'm like, I'm listening.
And so there's a lot of history with the two airplanes separately, and now we're going to do something really magical.
He goes, what we're going to do is we're going to bolt two Yak 55s together, and we're going to put a jet engine underneath it. Okay, I'm still listening. I thought he was insane. I'm like, oh, all right.
A tri-motor airplane, two props and one jet. It's going to be awesome.
I went to lunch, and then I think I went to happy hour. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? That is super cool.
It's going to be amazing, something that's never been done.
So we got the right pilot and the right fabricator, the right engineer. He did all the engineering.
Well, you know, we've spent a lot of time in the last probably 3 years envisioning this. We've got artists renderings of what they think this would look like. It looks even better than I could have imagined. It's got 4 main landing gear. Can you imagine just taxiing that thing around, sitting in that thing?
Looks about right. It's gonna work.
The hair. Okay, so it's about 60 thou sitting on an angle, but I know I have 1/4 of an inch all over, so I'm not worried about that.
Got some great help from a number of vendors, but you know, this airplane obviously requires some very unique. It's a unique application for a number of these products. So you got the center section. All the machining is complete, and got everything basically assembled, drilled and cleat together. So this is basically the structure what we're gonna have.
It's been an epic journey the last 12 months to get to this point. We're so excited. We're just so close right now to bring these things together. Just a couple of last things to do, Del.
Yeah.
Get that center section and the tail, get the elevators together, and get Len in town.
Yeah. Today's kind of a day for Len to look over the airplane, just get familiar with everything. Al here is here to hopefully issue an airworthiness certificate by the end of the day. And then it's time for us to go through the whole airplane nose to tail and just check every nut and bolt, make sure everything's 100% ready.
You know, uncharted waters, and coming up with something that's never been built, never been flown, and we're going to be the first guys to do it. That's the cool thing.
Well, you're marrying two airplanes together. It's about as unique as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how many times this has been done in aviation.
It's really amazing the amount of work that's been done over the last 14 months, and we're kind of buttoning things up, getting the airworthiness certificate issued to us.
Well, for seeing the plane for the first time, the first thoughts before I came over to visit was I was thinking complexity, to marrying these two fuselages and the controls. And after I came over and started going through it, I found simplicity, which makes all of our jobs easier.
Well, we're just over a year from where we started, and we're about 24 hours away from flying this thing.
It takes a special engineer and some special mechanics and people with some drive and with the forethoughts of what this is going to be.
And words can't really describe it. I'm so excited. It looks so much better than what I thought it would, and it's great. We've got everyone here today. We've got Chad and Len and Al, and Eddie's on his way. We'll put the final touches on it today and see that it works tomorrow.
And that's what's really great about this project. It is a cumulative effort of a bunch of people from all over the country, and it's really the best. It's the best of the best. our Lynn Fox, our test pilot. I mean, he's the best.
So when you first come to a project, especially a strange one like this, you walk in and you see what's different. And those different ones raise a flag. And so you pay particular attention to the things that are different in it. And then by inspecting it and going over with the designer, going over the basic things like weight and balance, center of gravity, then one by one you pull those flags down. And when all those flags come down, then you're ready to fly.
My goal is to inspect this aircraft, find compliance, issue an airworthiness certificate, and get this bird in the air.
Like I say, you methodically go through it on the ground, then you look at the configuration of the plane, you say what's different about it, how could it handle differently in flight? If it handles this way, what do I do? If it handles that way, what do I do?
When Lynn showed up, they've gone over every nut and bolt on this thing. And the DAR, he's gone over every nut and bolt of this thing. And the attention to detail that Dell brings to the table with his group is outstanding.
Feeling pretty good. Yeah, feeling pretty good. So one by one, all the flags are coming down in the head, and we're starting to make mental preparations to take it up.
Must be getting serious now. We're putting seatbelts in.
Just the little things have to be taken care of. We're installing some trim on the elevator. We're going to put some counterweights. That'll take time, and just basically buttoning up everything else, and sitting down and making that mental plan for the first flight.
Taxi test and high-speed taxi test, and then hopefully by the end of the day it'll have wings. So we'll see. It's getting close.
I think we're gonna pull the airplane back outside, do another ground run, get up to full power, tie down the tails, and do a full power run. Make sure everything's working there.
What do you think, man? Pretty cool stuff. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's just fun watching it drive around the ground, and gonna do some full power runs and put this thing in the air.
Is there anything else that you want to do? We'll take a look at that oil pressure when we get back to the hangar. Is there anything else you want to see or do?
No, that's it.
Okay, we'll get you inside and talk.
High power run-ups are good. You have one instrument we have to take care of. And taxiing was fine, got up to a little higher speed, and it's very controllable. And it looks like the wind is dying down too. It may be heavy and twitchy at the same time, which is a rare combination. And if we get that, we can thank the designer.
I just bolted them together. Well, I didn't bolt them together. He bolted them together.
but it's a caution that we may have, and I'll have to look for that both on the takeoff and the landing.
It's hard to explain that feeling of, we had this idea a long time ago, and here we are maybe moments away to see if this thing's going to take to the air.
I'd say mostly curious about what we have here, how it's going to perform, how it's going to handle. If there's any big changes we need to make. I'd really like to know the answer to that question. Are there going to be any big changes required? And of course, just like to see air under the wheels.
Wind's down the runway at 6 knots, so we're about to go.
So Lynn's in the airplane, taxiing out. We'll do a high-speed run down the taxiway. That all goes well. It's time for takeoff.
Tails up. Look at those wheels, baby! He's going to go up about 9,000. He's got a list of things that he wants to go over as far as controllability and speed. So the fact that he's still climbing and is still running, I think we're good. I can already imagine the jet on there, man.
Oh yeah.
The jet on? Here he comes. He's approaching the numbers. Can you see it? Fight number 1 in the Yak 110.
That's some good shit or what, man? That's a big group hug, man. Come on, man, get in here. You're part of the deal. Woo! 110, baby! Shit.
Thoughts are to find out if it's the plane that Jeff wants for the air show. We'll have to get the control forces under control.
is quite interesting when you're doing a roll. You're looking at it, it's like right there. But you don't even feel any kind of motion inside. I mean, like side to side when you're rolling. I didn't ever feel like you were getting slingshot type of thing around. Another Yak 110 pilot.
That's just fun. It's just so cool.
For me personally, I think it's just a real, honor's kind of an overused word. I don't think that it's not really the more flattered, I guess, than anything to be a part of it. And like I said, once it flies, you can't take it away from any of us.